There was a women's congress here in the 1890s. Of course, women weren't allowed to vote. So they held a mock parliament to debate things like, should men be allowed to ride bicycles? Should men be able to stay out after dark? The gay community really started its pride marches here. Labor unions have met here. But we've also become, to a degree, a music venue, an art venue. It represents a microcosm of the city. Everything that happens in the city also happens in Allan Gardens. Allan Gardens is really important for the city in a whole series of ways. It's one of Toronto's earliest public parks. The idea was that it was a place for people to learn about nature and to appreciate nature. It was donated to the Horticultural Society and then eventually became owned by the public.
What that's meant is that Allan Gardens has remained free. It's open at 10 a.m. It closes at 5 p.m. Last entry's at 4:45, so don't get caught in that last 15 minutes. The oldest building on the site is the Palm House. The greenhouses that came in the 20s and in the 50s have plants that were planted at that time. So you can actually come and look at a 100-year-old ponytail palm or a 100-year-old cycad tree. The plant collection is historic.
Horticulture tends to be about breeds of plants. Our interest is actually understanding the culture of plants.
Just to have a space that grows tropical plants, desert plants, Mediterranean plants from all over the world. You book a plane ticket to go to these southern destinations, whereas you can experience it right here in our backyard. We're also in Toronto, the most diverse city in the world.
Toronto's filled with so many immigrant communities that this collection's got to represent the diversity of the city of Toronto. When we get visitors to the conservatory, many people sort of say, well, I recognize that plant. That's where I'm from.
Our culture's developed in connections with the land, and they're manifested in cuisine, but also in architecture. It manifests in our medicines. We have a place to build a relationship with the plants that define our cultures. And where else can you do that?
Truth and reconciliation is a really complex task. It's not going to be achieved overnight, but we're friends to the many Indigenous communities that are here. We want to make sure that they're respected and treated fairly.
There's a sacred fire that's been burning here for over 2 years to remember the missing children from the Millennium Scoop and 60s Scoop, and the smoke and the sage that they burn at that fire comes to this side of the park, and you can smell it. There's a big presence of the urban Indigenous community here.
There is an Indigenous garden here. You're not really technically allowed to harvest plants from parks. So we had to go through a protocol to sort of say, well, these plants need to be harvested.
You see truth and reconciliation happening in real time. It's unfolding here. What an organization like the Friends of Allan Gardens does is we're the voice of the local community at the grassroots level.
We've now started to do artist programs and music programs in the evening and a farmer's market. And these are things that, as we find the art and music scene having a hard time finding places, we've found a new venue for them at Allan Gardens.
We're doing a lot of community development work. There's about 200 active volunteers.
What the Friends of Allan Gardens want to be is a model that could be repeated elsewhere in the city. We need to be thinking about how are our parks different now in this century than they were a century or two ago.
If we can't charge admission fees, how do we invest in this place to really celebrate its botanical and social legacy?
Allan Gardens was designed at a time when the city of Toronto had 40,000 people. We've found that the conservatory we have here is way too small. We need to double the size of the greenhouses because there needs to be areas where we can have children's programming in the greenhouses. We need to be able to show people how to grow plants on their balconies.
There's this idea of the greenhouse link building that would connect the Arid House here on the north side to the Orchid Bromeliad House on the south side and connect all the greenhouses. So you could walk in one place, make a big circle, look at all the ecosystems represented in all the greenhouses.
We think we have a vital resource here that could provide a benefit to many, many more people. We now need to see how this park functions in the 21st century while recognizing its roots in horticulture, its roots in serving the public, in being a place for relaxation. People come here all the time just to read a book. It's a healthy place, a place of health and wellness. As an architect, I feel I have a responsibility to be a good city builder. Allan Gardens represents the best of the city. You don't have to be any bigwig. You can be who you are, whoever you are, and you're welcome to the park.